All right. Hello, everybody. This is your host, Ryan, and welcome to another episode of the Credentialed Podcast. And today, let's talk a little bit about basketball as the NBA kick off their second round in the playoffs. And today, my guest is Aaron Chen. He is actually living in Portland right now, and he's a couple miles away from me, and he's a huge NBA fan. Has been following the league for so long. He used to live in the San Francisco area and attended USF, University of San Francisco. However, he's not a Golden State Warrior fan. He's a Phoenix Suns fan. So really, really excited to have him today. But we're gonna talk about his older hometown, where he spent a lot of years, majority of his years in San Francisco. But yeah, just really excited to have him today in our show. And Aaron, just why not you introduce yourself a little bit to the fans and anything that I haven't mentioned.
Yeah, like Ryan said, a Phoenix Sun fan right now, mostly because of Kevin Durant. I follow KD wherever he goes, so now that he plays for the Suns, I'm a Phoenix Suns fan. No hate for the Warriors though. Like they're still a great team. Like I have nothing but love for them, and like got a shout out like Curry for that 50-point game that he had the other night against the Kings. Like that was just a legendary performance. So definitely still a big fan of the Warriors, but this series I'm thinking the Lakers are probably gonna take it, but we'll definitely get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Aaron, thank you so much for spending some time today. I know you have a pretty busy schedule with school and everything, but I mean, before we do that, let's talk about the match today. It's so exciting. I only watched half of the match because I've been playing tennis for the first two quarters, and then when I got home, I'm like, it's already third quarter. It's like a 1 point, difference or whatever. What an exciting match! What's your reaction to this? I mean, the Lakers 5 point. They stole the first match at Golden State.
Yeah, this is definitely a great game by the Lakers. Just all around, everything from their defense to their offense, and also like the coaching job done by Darvin Ham, like making adjustments, even though they were down a good amount in the first quarter. Like I forgot exactly how much, but it's at least 10 points in the first quarter they were down, and the team didn't panic. They just kept playing good defense, and then eventually they were able to pull away. So I thought like overall like just great game all around. I think like one key thing that really stood out to me was definitely Jared Vanderbilt. Um, he was just a menace like all over the world, all over the court, just chasing stuff around, making sure that all his touches are just difficult, and then whenever he does actually catches the ball, like he's just making sure that he's in his face. And the Lakers also played really good help defense with AD just coming up, putting a hand over like any shooters and just making sure that all their shots are pretty difficult. I think like AD was super key in this game too, like 30 some points, like 20 some rebounds and 5 blocks or something like that. He was just really just a monster. Just I think, yeah, he's like a different animal than Sabonis. Just their play style and everything. So like, yeah, the Warriors definitely like haven't matched up with someone like that in a while. With AD like being able to like be so dominant, especially on the rebounding end. Like he had like 20 something rebounds, and he was literally just like catching rebounds off of like three people. Like he was still like grabbing rebounds, so he was just a monster. And LeBron, like he doesn't get old. Like almost 40 years old now, but he's still killing it. He's still like running fast breaks. He's still like blocking shots. Still playing good defense. So he was great too. I think overall they just had a really really solid game. Even just getting a lot of contribution from guys like Austin Reeves, like Trey Brown was solid. He hit a couple of clutch threes, along with Schroeder, who was really good as well. On the Warriors side, I thought Thompson was pretty solid. He hit a good amount of threes, and then Jordan Poole like came off the bench and brought some energy, some much needed energy, because that was what was missing in the Kings series. Um, but I thought like it just wasn't enough. Like other than Jordan Poole, like there wasn't a lot of bench players that stepped up. And I mean, Looney was super solid. He had like 20 something boards again, which is like crazy.
Yeah.
To see like Looney just averaging like at least like 15 boards this whole playoff, so it's pretty insane. And just seeing Steph being Steph, like even though he was heavily guarded by pretty much the whole Lakers squad, but he was still like getting his stats. Like he was so hitting a good amount of threes, like especially towards the end. Like he was struggling with his shot a little bit in the first 3 quarters, but in the fourth quarter he just went on a mini like personal run. He kind of took over the game a little bit, so he was great in that
Yeah.
sense. Yeah. What's your reaction, Ryan?
I mean, I feel like my biggest reaction is I think the Golden State Warriors, they're still a little tired from the Kings series. I think you can see, I think when they get started, and obviously I think as the game goes along, I feel like they still got some rust. I think that's one of the biggest things that I've noticed. Even though from a minute wise, Anthony Davis played 44 minutes, LeBron James played 40, Austin Reeves 49. Sorry, he's 39, but Steph Curry 38 minutes. Klay Thompson, 37 minutes. So those are not the guys that play significant minutes, compared with the Lakers team. So I think obviously, I think Steve Kerr really knows that, what his team is capable of, little tired and little rust from the series. So they did give him a little less minutes. But I think just the fact that, they still have that, and, they didn't have to go to LA to play the first game, which is a good thing, but still have to travel back from the Kings. I think that's a big challenge, for the team. Obviously you finished a 7-game series at last game, 50 points for Curry. You're getting tired. Okay. And to be honest, a 4-3 series in the first round for the Warriors, it really doesn't mean anything too positive. I just feel like they survived. But did they really dominate? They did not, right? I think Sacramento did a great, they put up a great efforts. But on the other side, the Lakers, they put up 40 points, right? They 40 points. Deficit 40. I mean, the 40 points advantage over the Grizzlies. I think they have the momentum, right? They have the momentum. They have the time. They have the time to rest, and they have the personnel to really come out here and make some damage. Another thing that, as you mentioned about Jared Vanderbilt, only 26 minutes. He didn't really play significant minutes, but what about Dennis Schroeder coming out from the bench? 31 minutes, 19 points. But when we talk about Jared Vanderbilt, he's just chasing Steph Curry around all the time. It was funny that both of us live in Portland, and I covered Blazers, and Dame Lillard wants Jared Vanderbilt. He wants him to be a Portland Trailblazer. I just feel like he's never gonna be a Portland Trailblazer because he's way too good. He's not gonna suffer the rains and snows in here, than going to LA, enjoy the sunshine, and going to San Francisco, try to get that big bucks. So I think Jared Vanderbilt is just really just the key, and he's the guy +8. That's the only stats I can see that in that category. He's +8. That's crazy, right? That's the highest plus and minus in this game, right? Only 8 points, 26 minutes. Look at his efficiency, right? I just feel like, in those type of series, it's just key players make plays. I think the Anthony Davis, the LeBron James, and the Steph Currys, they make those big bucks for a reason, right? Like, you're responsible. You're supposed to make plays down the stretch, and I think they were doing it. And I don't think that Jordan Poole last shot was a bad selection. I think that was okay. He just couldn't hit it. If he hit it, brother is getting 19 points, or actually 21 points coming up from the bench. Don't blame them for the last shot. I just feel like this Golden State team did not have that motivation as the LA Lakers just to come out here and dominate. Have a little rust, and they're probably a little underprepared with those two elite bigs like LeBron and Anthony Davis. I don't think they're very well prepared to face those challenges. They haven't really played them for, in the playoffs for a little bit, right? They haven't played LeBron James for a little bit. So I think for the fact that, they have some of the rust, and I also feel like the Lakers have developed a great game plan, really just to limit their key player, Steph Curry. I think that's a big one, for LA. I would say they stole one at Golden State. I think this is the one that, probably going to determine the rest of the series, because the Lakers, they got the home court advantage back, and they have one more game in Golden State, and then they got two more at home. If they can take it 3-1, that would be interesting. So yeah, so what are, I mean, we talked a little bit about Jervin, about his defense. What did you see from this Lakers team to contain Steph Curry, to really limit his opportunity, on the 3-point line or around the rim? What are those key defensive strategies that you think the Lakers team has implemented that really help them to develop a strong counter strategy against Steph Curry?
I think really just Vanderbilt individually, just his hustle for sure, and
Yeah,
his ability to just like switch 1 through 5 and just being able to be quick enough on his feet, but also be like really long, really lanky, and also like cover a lot of ground. Whenever like Steph is going up for a shot, like he's just being able to contest it like really
yeah,
well, just using his long arms, but also like being fast enough to chase him around. So I thought like he's definitely key, but it's not just him. I think it's definitely a team effort with the Lakers like making sure that he's not catching his shots um, comfortably, and making sure that he's having to like chase around multiple different screens, and making sure that whenever he does catch the ball, they're bringing an extra defender to get the ball out of his hands.
yeah,
Like you see a lot of times, like even AD, like he's guarding the paint, but he would just come like all the way up just to make sure that Steph doesn't like get to his comfort zone. And
yeah.
so I think like overall it's definitely like a team effort, just that the Lakers were able to game plan on. So a
Right.
lot of credit has to definitely like go to Darvin Ham on his job on just game planning, like you kind of mentioned before. Their defense is just amazing tonight.
Yeah, I think the Golden State, where they haven't really faced those two elite bigs, is LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Those are two guys that can jump, they can get up, get a rebound, and they can get up block shots. And you can see the amount of blocks they have, right?
So
It's just insane, right? So if I can see, if Steph Curry does not want to go for a 3-point shot, if he tries to dribble drive, if he goes to a free throw line, try to do a jump shot, Anthony Davis is right there. He's one or two steps away, try to block the shot. And you know, Curry didn't have anyone else to pass the ball to, or like they have to pass the ball to another person can't make plays. And then the Warriors couldn't really find anyone to get the rebound except for Kevon Looney. But bro, Kevon Looney is not Anthony Davis, he's not LeBron James. So I just feel like can your guards, can your Steph Curtis, can your Klay Thompson to outscore their big? So I think this is going to be a really interesting series. I know they have like 6 games. I feel like it could be a 7-game series just for NBA revenue and for the money, ticket sales. So I think it'll be really fun. So what are your thinkings in terms of the key matchup again among those two teams, but also looking ahead, thinking about just the whole series. How will the teams adjust based on this game?
yeah, I think one thing that I saw the Warriors did really well when they went on that little mini run in the fourth quarter, where like Steph Curry, I think, scored 9 straight points. A lot of it was because Steph Curry was like the Warriors used Steph Curry as a ball handler instead of just having another guy like Jordan Poole or someone else or Draymond like bring the ball up and do like their usual like dribble handoff action. It was Steph like just bring the ball up himself. So and I thought that worked pretty well for them. Just making sure that Steph like actually can get the ball and then using his gravity to be able to pass the ball around and swing it to shooters like Klay, like Poole, and other guys. So I thought that was like a good strategy that actually really worked for them. And I thought that's something that will um, Steve Kerr will probably try to implement in game 2. I think the Lakers will just continue to use their like defensive strategies, like having playing like Vanderbilt and AD together, and along with LeBron, just having those big guys. And I think that's going to be like a problem for the Warriors, like this whole series. Like they they can't really double team Anthony Davis, and because like there's just he's going to pass out to shooters, and yeah, they're gonna have a difficult time with AD. Um, yeah, it's gonna be an adjustment. What are some of your thoughts?
I think they have to play fast. I mean, for Warriors, they have to play fast. They have to capitalize on those fast break opportunities. And their freaking bench gotta get better. All right, their freaking bench gotta get better. I know Jordan Poole is getting 21 points, but he's taking how many shots he's taking? He's taking a lot of shots. I think his percentages are okay, but I think the guys like DiVincenzo, the guys like Moses Moody, the guys like GP2, even Draymond Green, they gotta get better. I think there are a lot of missed layups that could be corrected pretty easily. That's like 4 or 5 points, right? You only lose by 5. I think that's a good thing for this Warriors team. Like if you stay at home, right? You got when is the next game? Thursday. If they play Thursday, you got 2 more days just to rest, do whatever you need to do, treatment, get yourself relaxed, get yourself back in the gym, practice, relax, right? Reset a game plan, and you come back, right? You come back fresh, come back 0-1. They've been there before. And that's where you're going to see, oh, this is championship caliber team. Are you up to the challenge, right? Are your role players your role players? Can they really contribute to this team, right? But I feel like for the Lakers, I think usually, usually when you go to the playoffs, the winning team usually doesn't really do a lot of adjustments because they like what they're doing. They're doing well. But I think, can they get some of the other players involved? I don't know, why they're not playing Malik Beasley. I don't know why they're not really giving, Lonnie Walker the Ford some of the minutes. I feel like if those guys can get in, also like for Rui Kichimura, only 11 minutes today. I feel like if they can get some of their starters some time to rest, like Anthony Davis, like a LeBron James, or even like a Jared Vanderbilt, D'Angelo Russell, if they can get some of the production out of their bench, I think this Lakers team is going to be even more dangerous because they're well rested. They have the 1-0 advantage, and these guys are kicking ass. So I think for this Lakers team, can we see the same production as Dennis Schroeder coming up from the bench, as a Hichimura, as a Troy Brown Jr.? Can we see those type of things happen, right? Can they hit that amount of free throws? If you see that column, 25 out of 29 for the Lakers, but like the Golden State Warriors, 5 out of 6. I don't believe that. So I don't know what is happening with this one, but I did watch the game. I know they're taking 53 3-point shots. I think they need to attack the basket a little more. But if you miss it, you don't have anyone to get a rebound for you. But there are so many second-gen opportunities for the LA Lakers because of their size, because of their height, because of their athleticism. They getting those second chances, they make plays. So I think it'll
Yeah,
be really interesting to see if they're gonna change anything. If they're gonna, hey, let's just hope, let's make two more shots and we can win. So I think it'll be interesting to see where they're gonna go, and how this team's gonna go. So yeah, what are you saying? What do you think those two teams would go? Obviously, you talk about the key matchup, the defense, but in terms of like maybe like going even beyond the next game, looking at the rest of the series, what are some of those competitive advantages that each team has that you really like, and what are some stuff that each team can take advantage of?
yeah, I think this is definitely like an offense versus defense type of matchup, with the Warriors being like one of the better offensive teams in the league, and the Lakers being one of the best defensive teams in the league. So it's totally different from the Kings, of course. I think just looking ahead, I think it will be interesting to see if the Lakers can continue to shoot this well. I think they put a ton of points this game, and it might be like you said, like the Warriors being a little bit rusty on defense, like being a little bit tired with those like tired legs. Um, that could have like played a part into their defense being not as sharp today. So it will definitely be interesting to see the Lakers to like keep up the scoring with like all the shooting and with LeBron and AD playing so many minutes. It'll be interesting to see like other players like stepping up, like Hachimura, like you said. And on the Warriors side, it's really about them dealing with AD and Vanderbilt and LeBron. Just I think they really need to make adjustments on how to maybe like boxing out better or just making sure that somehow like keep AD out of the paint or something, because in this game he was just way too dominant. Like AD can't be like getting 30 and 20 every game, and I don't think the Warriors that would have any chance if AD was like averaging that the whole series. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And I think going to the basket is could be one adjustment that they make. But it's gonna be difficult. Like when you're going to the basket, we're seeing like those trees that the Lakers have. Um, but I think that's something that maybe like Jordan Poole can do, like driving to the basket, or have like Kuminga coming off the bench, driving to the basket. Like he's someone that's a little bit more athletic. Maybe he can get a few free throws. Um, and I think overall, it really just comes down to the Warriors playing better defense and being able to like make their shots. Really, like
Yeah.
what are some of your thoughts?
No, I think they gotta shoot better, but I think the 3-point shots are pretty good. They're shooting like 40%, but their field goals are like 40.6, and the Lakers are shooting 46.7. So I think this is where they really need to capitalize. You know how small the margin is, right? It's 5-point game. It's really came down to like an offensive rebound, a key defensive rebound, a key out of bounds play. And I feel like if they could capitalize on this, and every team's gonna make runs. And I feel like the Warriors need to be, hey, like I know we're the defending champ, but can you really start it over? Can you say, hey, this is a new season, right? We have different personnel, different people, and you're facing a LeBron lead Lakers team. Can you adjust that mentally? Can you put that, say, hey, we might be the underdog that we're not supposed to win, right? Can Steph Curry maintain that physicality? Can he maintain that energy throughout the series? That's where my question mark comes, right? I think he's been doing that for so many years. I don't want to say, hey, I don't believe him. But I feel as people ages, that sort of thing is probably not going to be him 2 years ago, probably him 1 year ago. So I just feel like it probably came down to, can Steph Curry really lead the team, maintain that amount of efficiency, maintain that shooting percentages, but can the Lakers match him up? I think they did a great job with Jared Vanderbilt, but can someone else step up, right? If Malik Beasley get called, can you really step up and play some defense for your team if Jared Vanderbilt is in foul trouble or whatever? So I think it came down obviously to the big time players making big time plays, but also can your role players step up to make up the minutes that your starters are not playing? Can you make key defensive plays? Can you grab the rebound? So I think it's going to come down to very, very small details, and I feel like those are two professional NBA teams, and they know so much basketball more than we do. So yeah, I think it's going to be a great series. Obviously, great series. I think it's going to be a great one. Unfortunately, I won't be able to attend any of them, unfortunately, but but I think we're really interested to talk a little bit, like, I know you've been living in the San Francisco area for a couple of years, and talk to us a little bit more about, watching the games at the Chase Center. Obviously, you can see my background picture is the Chase Center, where we did the NBA Finals last year. It was a really fun experience, but, from a fan perspective, how do you like there, and what was your experience watching games out there?
Yeah, so I just recently went to the Warriors versus Thunder game, which was the last home game at Chase Center this year, and it was really just a phenomenal experience. Just, I think the stadium is like so well built. It's also in a very nice and beautiful location. Like the public transit around it was like really nice. How you could just take BART and take the Muni over, and it was just really really convenient for any kind of commuters. And there's a bunch of food places around. I went to this dumpling place like just really close to the stadium, um, and there's just a ton of options. So, and even just stepping into the stadium, like you can see that the whole place just feels really modern. It feels really like aesthetically pleasing, and I think it just feels like a high class stadium, like definitely a world class stadium. Um, I was fortunate to be seated like kind of more in the middle area, so the game viewing experience was really good. The big screen was just so nice how you can, even though you're not sitting necessarily like super close to the floor, you're still able to really like see the scores and be able to like see what's going on the floor. So it's definitely like just overall really good experience. Like having also been to Oracle before,
Yeah.
the old Warrior Stadium. Like I think it just doesn't really compare. I love the fan experience though. Like I think the fans definitely like a lot of the fans carried over, but the stadium itself just felt like way newer and more spacious too. So just an awesome experience. Like having been to Chase Center yourself, what are some of your thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've been there, I think 2 games or 3 games, and I literally recently just went back from there, maybe 2 months ago, something like that. So, yeah, so I think, it's a great, I think I really love the location because, once you get in a little closer to the stadium or to the arena, you can have a very cool ocean view. You can see, the ocean, and you can just sitting out there drinking a beer, or just hang out with friends or someone, would go outside and smoke a little bit during the halftime. So I think I really love the location. Really love the location. When I was there for NBA Finals last year, it was insane. I mean, the atmosphere, just the fans, and just the amount of people that even a lot of people they were sitting outside watching the big screen, and they're grabbing beers, hanging out with friends. I think just the atmosphere, it's just amazing. And I think if you got a chance, definitely need to check it out. But I feel like, from a media service perspective, I think they've done a great job, really accommodating our media people. There's a huge amount of, media people over there. I think we got pretty decent seats, especially in the regular season. We're probably on like, you see kind of the lower level, but like um, we're kind of located around the first level, so not necessarily like the top of the top, but we do have a pretty good viewing experience when it comes to regular season. I've been there once for regular season, and then once it comes to finals, once it comes to the playoffs, they're probably gonna sit you around the second or the third level. It's still pretty decent, obviously. I think with how big the stadium is and how popular the games are, but I think what I really enjoyed about the Chase Center is just really just the diversity. I think, you can see so many different faces there, and obviously Asians and, white people, African Americans, and just a diversity. I think San Francisco being a place that's pretty known for diversity, people of different background, different races, different countries. I think it's great. I think that's what I really enjoy about, every time I'm going out there. I always have friends, they're either working with the Warriors or they're just covering the team. Just good to see them, and obviously, enjoy covering the match. Obviously, had a pretty crazy experience. Obviously, having I think it was like a 2-minute or 3-minute interview with Sean Livingston. He's a Warriors legend, and we did that interview. And then it went live and broadcasted in China immediately. So it's kind of like a live streaming event. So, and then, we're sitting out there and talking, and do that show, which was really fun. So, we'd love to get it again, if opportunities are right. And, we'd love to, check it out, the Chase Center, if they made it a little further and maybe to the finals or conference finals. But yeah. And yeah, so I think we pretty much covered the base. We don't want to, spend too much time on this. I know we've been spending a lot just talking and talking. Any
Any
final thoughts, Aaron? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I just want to make a predictions
Yeah.
on the series. So my prediction is Lakers in 6. I would say the Warriors take the next game, and then the series gets really interesting. And I think the Lakers having still home court, I think they have the advantage right now. So yeah, definitely Lakers and Suns right now for me.
Fair. Well, I'll probably say I'll probably say they're gonna go to 7. Just because of the money. They're gonna go to 7, and then I think it will be Lakers in 7. So I really feel like those Lakers athleticism, just the new pieces they put together are just they're just a little bit more fresh than the Warriors. They're a little younger. The guys are a little hungrier, and the guys that are there, they have pretty good championship experience, like LeBron. I think it'll be a great series. I hope it's gonna be 7. Obviously, that will give us a little more chances to talk and just chat about our thoughts after the game. But yeah, any other final thoughts that you would like to offer to our fans?
Yeah, I think my final thoughts are just it's gonna be an interesting series, like you said. I think the ratings for this series is gonna like set some kind of record. I think the ticket prices already did. So it's gonna be interesting to see like how the ratings are like after the series. Like it's definitely gonna be like an all-time great series that people are gonna remember for the rest of their lives. Like one of the like LeBron and Steph Curry, like they're all getting up there in age, like along with the Warriors core. So we might not get a chance to see a matchup like this in a really long time. So definitely like hope everyone just cherishes being able to see all these legends, and it's gonna be fun. Can't wait.
You made me wanted to go. You made me want to spend the money. All right, guys. So thank you guys so much again, and thank you so much, Aaron, for your time. And we hope to catch you guys up next time after Game 2. We're gonna have a quick reaction too, and let's look forward to it. And really appreciate Aaron for your time. Hope to catch you up next time.
Thanks for having me, Ryan.
Thank you. Bye-bye.